Hello. So I've been delivering this seminar now for over 30 years, all around the world, to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. There's been a lot of TV and press, which some of you may have caught and some of you may not. I've delivered lectures around the world at TED conferences. And if you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you've all experienced some frustrations at trying to learn an instrument. Most of us do at some point. Some of us even give up. That's it, I'm done. Can never get my head around this subject. And if you have professional lessons, they can often cost tens of thousands of dollars. But there is hope. You know, let's have a look at a very successful artist right now, a guy called Ed Sheeran. He says, when people say artists are born with natural talent, you're not. You have to really learn and really practice. Now, there are two words there that are really important. The first word is learn, and the second word is practice. But learn and practice what? Patterns. Yes, that's what music is all about. Patterns. That's what a scale is. That's what a chord is. Now, when you hear the words scales and chords, you think this is something that's going to take years and years, but no, it doesn't take years and years. It takes minutes. Now, if I'm going to make a statement like that, I actually have to prove it to you. So, you're going to give me 5 minutes? All right, I've got 5 minutes. Let's see what you can learn in 5 minutes. Here we go. Intervals. Now, what is an interval? Here's something that's interesting. When the Romans were invading different parts of Europe, their success was based on something very interesting. This is a Roman fort. And the space between the walls that they built was called an intervallum. This is where we get the term interval from, space between two locations. That's what an interval is. It's the distance between two notes. That's all an interval is. So how does that relate to, say, a keyboard? Well, let's look at a keyboard. First thing on a keyboard, this is a little Duncan trick. When you look at a keyboard, cut the bottom part of the keyboard off because it makes it so much easier to explain intervals. Now, an interval of 1, whether you go from a white key to a black key to a white key, or a white key to a white key, you are moving the distance of 1. How would you do that? Same thing on a guitar. Right, well, if you move from an open string, that's the string without being shortened, and you shorten it to what's called the first fret, you've moved 1. Go up 1. Go up 1. Go up 1. You've just learnt what is the interval of 1. Now, I'm going to show you the magic of this in just a few seconds. Let's go back to our cut-off keyboard again. That's a Duncan term. Here's an interval of 2. White to white, black to black, white to a black, black to a white. You're moving a space of 2. What would that look like on a guitar? Right. Instead of going up in 1s, here's a diagram showing moving up in 2s. So now you've got the concept of what an interval of 1 and an interval of 2 is. What can we do with that? All right. A scale is simply a pattern that's used to climb up a ladder. That's what the word scale means. Ladder. That's all it is. So now let's have a look. Here's a way of climbing up a ladder. Go up 2 steps, go up another 2 steps, go up 1 step, go up 2 steps, up 2 steps, up 2 steps, up 1 step. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. What would that look like on a keyboard? Whichever location you start on, move up 2, move up 2, move up 1, move up 2, move up 2, move up 2, move up 1. Now, what can you do with this? Well, let's show you it on a guitar first of all. Same thing on a guitar. Move up 2, move up 2, move up 1. Move up 2, move up 2, move up 2, move up 1. Doesn't matter where you start. Look at that pattern. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. What do you do with that? Ever heard the words major scale before? Well, you've just learnt every major scale. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. That's every major scale. Learnt. Done. For life. Doesn't matter where you start on a keyboard, where you start on a guitar. It's easy. Let's go back to our ladder. Here's our ladder. Let's do a different scale. Ever heard of the term minor? minor scale. Okay, it's a different pattern. Here we go. 2-1, 2-2-1, 2-2. Pretty similar. Now let's see what that looks like. 2-1, 2-2-1, 2-2. That doesn't matter where you start. You could pick any note to start on. A white one, a black one. As long as you keep that formula, you are playing a minor scale. Isn't it simple? Here it is on a guitar. Shorten it by 2, shorten by 1, shorten by 2, by 2, by 1, by 2, by 2. 2-1, 2-2-1, 2-2. That's every minor scale. 2-1, 2-2-1, 2-2. Every minor scale. You've just learned every major scale, every minor scale with 2 patterns. Now you can't tell me that's difficult. Back to our cut-off keyboard again. Ever heard the term chord? What does a chord mean? It means a group of notes played at the same time. Here comes some magic. See this pattern? Pick a starting point, count up 4, now count up 3. That will give you a total of 3 locations. First location, count up 4, then from that location, count up another 3, 4, 3. What's that? That is every major chord. You've just learned every major chord on the keyboard. What about minor chords? Well, I've got to tell you, much more complex. Takes years to learn. Right, done. 3, 4. You've just learnt every minor chord on the keyboard. Now, what about the guitar? Well, come on, I've got to save something for the seminar. Do you see the power of intervals? This is less than 5 minutes and you've learned every major scale, every minor scale, every major chord on the keyboard, every minor chord on the keyboard, and it takes seconds. So why do they teach notes if intervals are so simple? And this is the secret. There was a point in time when the church said music was to be used exclusively for the worship of God and not for any other purpose. How did they create that situation? Well, they introduced code. Lots and lots and lots of code, which meant that the average person couldn't understand it. And then they said, of course, if you broke the code, well, you were going to be punished. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes. If I can do that in 5 minutes, what can I do with one weekend? Every scale, every chord, on keyboard, guitar, and, yeah, every other instrument, whether it's the ukulele, the violin, the trumpet, the saxophone. You will learn how to do this on every instrument. I know it sounds impossible, doesn't it? Not only that, you'll learn the basics of some jazz improvisation, some blues improvisation. Whether your interest is to play it on the keyboard, on the guitar, by the end of the weekend, you'll be able to pick up any songbook and actually be playing songs. Honestly now, not as fast when you first start, but if you can do that in a weekend, what are you going to be able to do with a few weeks? If I've piqued your interest, can I suggest? Contact Mark. Find out more information. I've had fun doing this with you today, and I look forward to seeing many of you in the future. Thank you very much for your attention today.